what it is, son.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
How's it going?
Well, it's a rainy day here in Florida.
Well, you had a bright night at work, though.
That is true. Went down to the beautiful, beautiful wild park of Fort Lauderdale. All fun, exciting.
Where the people who can't afford to live in the villages go.
Literally on the way out
Right.
of the terminal,
Uh-huh.
there was a group of people sitting on the sidewalk, sharing what I can only think of as illicit drugs.
What?
Right by where the old Eclipse is usually parked,
Uh-huh.
for whatever's
Well,
entertainment.
that's
by
a
the
home away
dumpster.
from home, right?
That's right. They're all sitting there shirtless, just enjoying the day.
Well, that could be exciting.
I mean,
if you're into nibbles.
most of them look like skeletons. But
Right. No, I'm joking.
No. Speaking of joking, you can't joke anymore.
No, can't joke.
You can't.
No,
No more joking.
Nope.
No more talking about silly stuff.
We'll get into that at 11.
That's.
But you had a good night.
Do you know where your kids are at? We'll tell you at 11. What? You've seen those on fucking YouTube? All. This one guy just got all sorts of clips of just like, is your TV killing your kids? We'll tell you at 11. All these like little things that come up on like 8 o'clock, and you're like, no, tell me now. What's going on? What do you mean?
That's how
is
they
your
get you.
cereal killing your kids?
That's
we'll
how they
tell you
get
at
you.
11.
I mean, who really stays up for the 11 o'clock news?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? Tonight at 11.
Tonight at 11. No, I'll be asleep by 11.
That's
Thank you.
Tell me now. Oh, Daddy, we set the TiVo for 11. And then you wake up the next morning, you get 75 news broadcasts
That's right.
on your TiVo. Well, TiVo, recorded on your whatever.
For the kids out there, that's used to be your, recording
before,
device for your streaming service, I guess. I
Right.
put it.
Well, that was streaming before it was streaming, basically.
Remember VCRs?
Yeah,
that kind of
it was basically like that. It was recording it.
That's
yeah.
right.
And you had a separate device called a TiVo. Now
right.
it's in every box you get.
Correct.
From the whatever.
It's in the TV.
Well, you could do it on the TV now, too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything's fast forward. That's right.
So you were telling me about the wonderful and great Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I mean, he's in trouble on some Twitter because, okay, so for all of you who don't know, Joe Rogan is a podcaster, but he's also a comedian.
Yes, also an UFC commentator.
Right. Also, actor.
Also a world champion in judo.
Judo. Yep.
Is it world champion or state? Or
no, he was a United States champion.
United
I know
States
for sure.
champion in judo. That's right.
Okay, so
Judo
now we
chop.
got all that straight.
That's right.
But his main business is he's a comedian.
That's right.
Right. He's a man in many hats, but he's a comedian.
Yep.
And for all intents and purposes, you won't find a manlier man or a less busy man.
That's
right.
right.
I mean, you think of people in Hollywood and stuff like that are busy. Like The Rock is always
right.
busy.
Yep.
Joe Rogan is always busy.
When you think of laying on your bed going, I should really put in that load of laundry.
Right.
Joe Rogan's always 10 steps ahead of you. The
Right.
laundry's in. He's cooking a beef brisket. He's
Right.
working out.
Right.
And he's planning the next day's interviews.
While he's sitting in a sauna or an ice bath.
All of that.
Right.
That's right.
Okay. So this gentleman's busy.
That's right.
And he had a fellow comedian, very, very funny man. If you
Correct.
don't know who he is, Tom Segura, check him out. He's got podcasts and specials
right.
on Netflix.
Your
and
mom's
whatnot.
house and all that.
That's right.
Two bears,
So
one cave,
they were talking about the homeless situation in L.A.,
which is terrible.
right, and how a new law in California deems. So all of the everybody's seen homeless people, especially me, because homeless Mecca is right down the road from here.
Ask him how he knows.
Ask me how I know. That's probably where all the shit for my truck is, and my gas can that I just recently decided that was stolen.
Listen,
So
at least you gave somebody
a gallon and a half of gas.
right. So
that was for my lawnmower.
You know, what I'm
that's
saying?
right. That's right.
Just think of it that way.
Yeah,
they're keeping
I mean,
warm.
it's,
in
it's
this 100
cold
degree
here,
weather.
and, right? Fuckers. Anyway, so all that shit that you see a homeless person
Right.
with, all that shit, all of their possessions, no possessions too, that shit
That's right.
in California is now deemed their personal property.
Yep.
Right. So in Florida, I'm sure if a bunch of shit is set on a corner somewhere and it's a homeless whatever, they can clean it up.
Correct.
City, county, whatever, can come in and go, yeah, I'm picking up all this trash.
It's considered trash. Right.
In California, that's considered their personal property. So you can't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And that they will arrest you if you do, because you're stealing someone's personal property. Right? So Joe Rogan makes the comment, because Tom Segura is telling him this, because
Right.
Tom Segura still lives in California.
Correct.
Right? So he's, and Joe has moved to Texas because he was sick of the laws in California.
Correct. Yep.
especially during the pandemic and what they did and shutting everything down. So he moved to Texas, much for your place. So Segura's telling him these laws, catching him up on the biz, and Rogan is flabbergasted by this, right? Yeah, like, you can't even clean up the streets now because it's personal property. And so he says, well, why don't you just shoot them? Because, they don't arrest people for violent crimes in California anymore anyway.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't try to solve shootings. They don't try to solve murders. They don't do any of that.
Nope.
Right? Not worth the time.
Right. Which is, that was considered a joke.
Yeah, joke.
That's right.
For real.
He's a
comedian.
That's right.
Two comedians, by the way.
Two comedians talking to
having
each
a
other,
conversation.
having a little, back and forth on a
ha-ha.
On a
like
ha-ha.
everybody has, by the way.
That's right.
When you're sitting around with your buds or your ladies, whatever you prefer, or whoever you are.
To Joe Rogan Experience.
Right.
It's not the Walter Cronkite News at 8.
That's right.
And 11, by the way.
That's right. And so, and by the way, in the news story, they made a point to let you know that they were both smoking cigars
on camera.
while they were having this on camera. Like, that makes
maybe having a little drinky poo.
Probably.
Who gives a shit?
Yep. I mean, he got Elon Musk to smoke weed.
That's right. And that, that almost crashed Tesla.
That almost crashed Tesla.
Well, but
right?
whatever.
But he's not a hooligan.
No. And
if you listen to his show, he is the kindest-hearted person.
Yep.
He really respects people's individual thoughts,
Correct.
individual feelings, and how they come at things.
Yep.
He just tries to understand their point of view.
By the way, he's actually self-admitted that maybe he needs to have both sides a lot more to debate whatever topic he's talking about.
Right.
To have each other's sides heard.
Right.
And not just it, because he's never biased.
No.
He listens to both sides. Now, he'll make his own assumption and then have a debate on it. And sometimes it may get heated.
Which is why he got in trouble over the COVID thing.
Correct.
Because he's had COVID twice, and he didn't get
But
vaccinated.
he
was over
slapped the media for saying that he was taking horse...
It was horse pills or worm pills or something like that. But that was what his doctor prescribed him to take.
Which is, he said, it also is prescribed for humans. I don't understand why you're just harping on that fact and not stating the fact that it's prescribed for humans. So,
and that this treatment worked.
So it shows the bias of the news media. It shows that they'll stick with one point to make their point, whatever it is. And that's what they're doing now.
Well, and then on top of it, he's also a big critic of people being overweight.
Correct.
Right? He thinks that that's part of the health issue with COVID.
Which it is.
Which it is. They've stated that. Right? And when you look at Joe Rogan, he's 54 years old.
Yeah.
He maybe has 10% body. Maybe. And that's if he's eating, wrong
he's in
that month.
Better shape than I would say most 20-year-olds are now.
Correct. And that's because he's so dedicated to his martial arts. He's so dedicated to working out. He's dedicated to not being a sit still, do nothing mother. Like Brandon Rouse used to say, "I'm not a do nothing."
And he also
bitch.
advocates that if you're going to hunt and gather for your food, do that.
Yeah,
don't be wasteful.
That's right.
Whatever he shoots and kills, whatever is big game, he eats.
Yep.
And he actually shares with his friends, like Mr. Tom Segura.
Yep.
Or whoever else goes on his podcast.
That's right. And usually his podcast he's chilled out quite a bit lately with the experts and whatnot.
Yeah.
He'll still have that CIA guy on quite a bit and doctors on quite a bit, but they're not talking about COVID anymore, obviously. But because it's not really a topic anymore. I mean, even though they want to make it a thing, it's not really a thing anymore. So,
he has said,
let me rephrase that. You can still get COVID. It is still major a thing, but it's not in the news every day like it was.
Well,
is
that's
what
because,
I'm saying.
War in Ukraine and
right,
all sorts of silly stuff.
So, but lately, he's steered away from that and basically brings on every comedian that he can that comes to Austin or whatever. He's opening up a comedy house in Austin.
Yep.
Right. A theater.
Mm-hmm.
And almost like the comedy club in LA where he was, seen when he lived in LA.
Yep.
Now, he gets in trouble for a joke on Twitter. First of all, who gives a fuck about Twitter and what they think?
That's right.
Right? All the keyboard cowboys. Listen, they can tear us up. I don't care.
Right.
You're not sitting here in this chair doing this podcast and these aren't your thoughts and whatever. If you don't agree with me, that's fine.
That's right.
I don't care.
We did get retweeted.
Did we?
We did.
By who?
I'll show you later.
Austin. Nice.
That's right.
So, anywho.
He doesn't care, folks.
No.
So, just to let you know, he self-admittedly said, I will shut this shit down and just invite my comic friends to come over to talk shop, shit, whatever it is, and I will Cancel everybody else.
And to be honest with you, there's a lot to learn from his podcast. When he has those experts on, and he has the doctors on and the researchers on and all that, there's a lot to learn. Dude, you could literally take a notepad and take notes like a TED Talk. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And, and he's not a dummy. He's got his internet guru sitting there, and they verify facts, and they verify statements, and they verify, statistics and all that. If he talks, if a person talks about it and he thinks it's bullshit, he'll look it up and see whether it's bullshit or not.
What he does great is opens up a stream of consciousness where you could talk about stuff without being biased. Like whether you get your news just at Fox, just at MSNBC, just at. He talks about all of it.
He's the kind of guy that could have a Republican on, and a Democrat on,
and an independent,
and they can talk.
Absolutely.
I mean, dude, he tried to get Trump on,
but he won't
back in the day. But Trump wouldn't.
No,
right? Because for some reason. But he had Bernie on.
Yep.
He had what's her name, who I thought should have gotten more bid for the presidency. What is her name? She's from Hawaii, senator. Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah. And he's also had what's the Michael Chang? No, that independent guy that ran. I don't know if he's Japanese or Chinese or whatever.
Oh yeah. The guy was talking about base pay for everybody and
base pay. Yep.
And they discussed all of that.
Yep.
Right, and he made he made Bernie see some shit.
Yeah.
When he had Bernie on, Bernie's like, okay, I guess that probably wouldn't work then.
Right.
But we'll figure out a way.
Right.
Right is what they came up to.
But it's conversation.
Right.
It's better than hearing a stupid clip and making Bernie look like a foolish old man with these stupid memes that he's sitting on a fucking lawn chair with mittens on. Instead, he brings the guy on and it makes you, I don't know, get to know the dude.
Right.
Whether you like it or not. When he has Mike Tyson on, it's a fantastic show.
Right.
You don't know what he's going to say.
But
you never know what he's going to say.
Wow, that's the truth. But
kill you.
But listen, he does what every American and their friends or non-friends should be doing.
That's right.
Which is opening up a meaningful dialogue about issues that affect your life and your nation.
Right.
Instead of arguing about it because you're a Republican and I'm a Democrat and blah, 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 which I'm not a Democrat, I'm a Republican, but that was really decided by a flip of a coin. Interesting story. I'll tell you later at 11. So it opens up he opens up interesting dialogue about factual things that this country should be discussing.
And he does it in a joking manner. Now, he will be serious.
Yeah.
But he tells you, listen, this is not where you get your news.
Right.
Don't
follow this dummy.
No.
Right.
Listen, maybe get something out of the conversation, maybe learn a few things.
His deal is to try to get you to go down the rabbit hole of knowledge for yourself.
Correct.
Right. So if he says something or bring an expert on, like say he had Fauci on and they were talking about when he had Sanjay Gupta on from CNN, right? And they were talking about COVID. Oh, right. And he said, listen, you said this and this is not the fact. It's this.
Right.
And dude, he goes, listen, why do you do this? He goes, well, listen, my employer's CNN. I mean, I gotta,
which he made one of the biggest contributor as a doctor on that network.
That's right.
Admit that he's working for CNN. Therefore,
he's got to go by their guidelines.
Right. So sometimes it might be right. Sometimes it might not be right. But it's just what it is.
But by the way, still get vaccinated.
That's right. That's right. Oh, and buy some oxycodone.
So the reason why we bring this up is not because we are doing a podcast and we say whatever the hell we want. What we're doing, what I'm bringing this up is because where are we in America where we don't understand that it's two comedians having a conversation and making jokes?
Well,
and when do comedians get to make jokes that make us laugh without having to worry about what they're saying?
Correct.
Right. I mean, Dave Chappelle's a master at it.
Absolutely.
Right. Obviously. Yeah. But Rogan is also, and so is Segura. And so is Bill Burr and all the major names that are out there right now. Yep. But some of them still hold back because of this whole, well, I can't believe you said that. Right. Did you hear the laughter in the room? Then it was a joke.
Right.
You know, I can sit here and tell you all day long that I have a size 12 foot. Right? And we can make jokes about me having big feet.
That's right.
Right? And you know what that means.
I mean, big ears.
But right. Wow, that's why my headphones are so much bigger than yours. But here's the deal. It means nothing.
Right.
Because it's a joke.
Correct.
Right? It doesn't mean that I actually have 12-inch feet.
Right.
You know, I don't understand.
Listen, it's some of these comedians. What happens is they go through a process. They used to go through a process like the famous, damn it, where they all gather in Montreal Comic Festival.
Yeah, I think Montreal Comedy Festival.
Right. So they go to New Faces, what they call New Faces, where all the people, agents, everything sit in that show, and if you're slightly funny, they'll give you a deal, right? So when you're beholding to a deal,
and when you mean a deal, you mean either for specials on HBO, or
Netflix,
TV shows,
blah blah blah.
Yep.
It used to be the big ones, the HBO, Showtime, Comedy Central, right?
Or that's how you got a show on
Right.
ABC, NBC.
Once
whatever.
you get hooked there, then you're not allowed to speak or do your act the way you want
it's
to
like
do your act.
it's like the Disney formula,
Correct.
Right? Disney people can't be Disney.
Some of them go through there.
Right.
Now, it's changed in the past few years because everybody just puts their shit online and they let the public decide.
Right.
The Dave Chappelle's, they put in their time.
Right.
I mean, Dave Chappelle is literally probably untouchable at this point. He's
Right.
one of the only ones that is untouchable, that can say whatever the fuck he wants because he's Dave fucking Chappelle. He is the personification of jokes.
Well, not only that, but he can approach serious,
Absolutely. And make you
serious topics,
kind of
that
like
make you
George
think.
Carlin.
That's right.
Because I've seen those pop up again now.
Yep.
You know, his old stuff,
His
just
old
clips
stuff
of it.
right from the 80s, by
That's
the
right.
way.
But George Carlin's been arrested back in the day. He was chastised for a whole bunch of shit he used to do. Same thing as a lot of the older comedians.
Right. What Dave Chappelle has on his side is, first of all, he's witty.
Yeah.
He's clever.
Yeah.
He can talk about, he can make a trans joke and you don't even understand that it's a trans joke and it's mean.
But he still gets shit for it. But guess what? He doesn't care.
But
He doesn't care.
what you find out is that the person that wrote that joke for him was a trans person.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And so, and on top of that, he's a black man, right? Married to an Asian woman. Not that makes a difference, but
Right.
you know, he can talk about race. He can talk about those kind of issues because he is those issues.
Right. He's been through it.
Right. You know, because he wasn't always
Right.
rich. He wasn't always secluded. He wasn't always, and you know, these people become rich and famous, and then they seclude themselves
Right.
because of us.
Right. Look at what happened with Louis C.K.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, it was disgusting what he did. However you want to take it. Okay.
Do you know what he did?
I did.
You did.
I did.
Why don't
And
you
I
state
did.
it for the viewers in case they don't know?
Well,
because
he got accused.
listen, a lot of this cancel culture
That's
just
right.
came out. Oh, this person did something horrendous, and then the other person goes, "Oh, I don't
That's
like
right.
that."
Now,
But they don't know what actually happened.
right. What happened with Louis C.K. is he got accused of masturbating in front of women that didn't. Upon further review, later on, said that they felt uncomfortable.
Flag on
but
the play.
That's right, Jimmy. They said at the time that it was okay. Now, it's a fine line between assaulting and making somebody feel uncomfortable. Blah 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 blah. Many girls came out saying that. Okay, so he got chastised.
Right.
This all happened the same time Harvey Weinstein came out.
That's right.
They bundled those two fucking things together, and then lo and behold, here comes Jello Man, Mr. Cosby.
Right.
Here comes So there was a three-peat. Now he got shuffled into that mix.
That's right.
And he got totally fucking railroaded.
Which there's lots of issues with that.
There is.
First of all,
He didn't drug them.
No. At the time that the incidences took place,
Right.
he had consent.
Correct. It was only because they felt that upon further review, when they reviewed
Right.
it,
They reflected on it.
They were embarrassed. They were humiliated. They were whatever. I'm not going to get into that because that's a touchy subject. Whatever. The Harvey Weinstein shit, that's some creepy shit.
Horrible.
The Bill Cosby
Horrible.
shit is terrible.
Right.
And there was 70 women.
Yeah.
4.
Yep.
4 for Louis C.K. 4.
Right. 4
now,
women,
he was villainized the same
4
way.
women who elected to take part in his fetish.
Correct.
And then upon further review said,
That's right.
eh.
That's right.
So my thing is listen.
Oh, by the way, one of them was over the phone, and she could have, hung it up.
Right.
But anyway.
So
I
so
digress.
here's my deal. When a man says, "Hey, can I do this?" Right. If I looked at you,
I mean, giggity.
set your recorders, people.
That's right.
If I looked at you and said, "Steven, can I jerk off in front of you?" And you're like,
mean-
"Yeah, bud."
I mean, is it?
And then I did it, and then you left here, and on your way home you went, "God, geez, I feel kind of bad."
That's
you
right.
know? I mean, I watched my friend do his thing, and then you right,
All right, Jimmy.
I mean, he's one of the lucky
I mean,
few.
when you walk into the bathroom, I mean, you got to know first. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Listen, I wouldn't care because it's not a big deal for me.
no. But what I'm saying is
And if I sat here while you told me, hey, I'm going to do this act,
Right.
and I'm going to still sit here, whether I'm in shock or not, and not jump through that fucking door and get the fuck out of here.
no, that's a different situation. If I did it without your consent, if I just said, "Hey, bud, I'm going to do this," and
Right.
then started,
Right.
like the man in Sons of Anarchy that sits there
That's
and
correct.
Jerks off all day and they cut his hands off. If I was that guy,
Yeah.
I understand
Mhm.
because you didn't say, "Yeah, bud, it's cool."
Yeah.
But once you say, "Yeah, bud, it's cool,"
Mhm.
it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't just go
You don't get to leave here
No.
and then go, "It's not cool." Now,
nonchalantly go, yeah, whatever.
Now, mind you, those people were it wasn't a Weinstein deal. It wasn't he had power over them. It wasn't
Nope.
right. It was just people he knew,
Right.
right?
That's right.
Fellow comedians, that kind of thing,
That's correct.
right? So it wasn't like if you said, "Nah, I don't really want to,"
Mhm.
I mean, it'd be like me saying that to you, and you going, "Nah, dude, I don't want you to."
It's also not like the Matt Lauer situation where he has a little button under his desk that locks that door.
Right,
behind him.
right. You know what I'm saying? It
Same
was
thing with Dustin Hoffman.
what
All
he
these
did-
other fucking things.
What he did was no different
Correct.
than me being in a bar or you being in a bar or any dude being in a bar and going, "Would you like to go to my place?"
That's right.
And the girl goes, "Yeah." Now, that's not a guarantee of sex or whatever because she agreed to go
Right.
to your place. But once you go to your place and you get naked and you guys are having sex and it's a thing and it's over with, she doesn't get to go home and drive home and go, "Yeah, that wasn't, that I didn't want to do that."
By the way, most of them were talked into going up to his said a motel room, whatever the hell. Okay?
Right.
They were fully clothed.
Right.
They got into the apartment, motel, whatever.
Yeah, his fetish was to do his thing by
fully
himself.
clothed.
Right.
By the time you get your fucking zipper down and pants down to start doing that act, if the woman doesn't go, "Listen, I feel a little uncomfortable," and he doesn't stop, that's different.
Right.
But they didn't do that. They
Right.
didn't leave. They didn't turn away. They didn't do any of that. Some of them thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is I'm not going to mention any names, but one of them everybody knows, very very well known comedian,
right.
said it was funny.
Right.
It was hilarious, like a joke, haha.
Right.
And then upon reviewing the tapes in her brain, she said, "Well, wait a minute, that's assault." No.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's not assault because you consented.
He did not lock the door. He did not say
Right.
you're not going anywhere. He did not restrain you. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
There's none of those accusations came out to where he said he gooned armed one of them, said you're not going anywhere.
Right. Grabbed him by the
None
head.
of that.
Yeah, no.
They had full autonomy to get the fuck out of
Why
there.
don't you sit back and have a sandwich, and
That's
I'm
right.
going to pull on my chicken.
That's right. Once you grab a Coke and
And they
sit
said,
down,
"All right."
That's right.
And so he did it, and
He
then
did
all
it.
of a sudden it's
That's right.
No, that's
That's
where
right.
I have a problem.
Correct. But what's going to happen is if the Dave Chappelle's, the comedians that will not cater to the stupid Twitter comments and the
Right.
stupid this comments and just keep doing what they're doing, there's enough people that enjoy their comedy and that
That's right.
understand it's comedy.
That's right.
That they're not gonna pay for it.
But comics and entertainment, no matter how you look at it, whether it's movies, podcasts, radio station, music, streaming, whatever, if you don't like it, change the channel.
Correct.
Don't complain about it.
That's right.
Just change the channel.
That's right.
Look, dude,
Mhm.
my special lady friend really likes the romantic comedy movies.
Right.
You know, the Owen Wilson type stuff.
Right.
Not
Snooze fest.
him.
That's right.
Not him.
Oh, the back-to-back
Directly.
Matthew McConaughey, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Yeah, that kind of shit,
That's
right? Those are her favorite movies to just kind of veg out on a weekend and just hang,
Right.
right? Not my particular best.
No.
Not my particular favorite. I mean, I do it because I like hanging with her,
Right.
but I wouldn't go on there and choose it. Now,
No.
if that's all it's on Netflix, like if every single movie was that kind of stuff, Well, I would keep it because, that's what she likes, but I wouldn't watch Netflix because I have the personal responsibility to choose what I ingest.
Correct.
Right? So
there's plenty of streaming platforms out there for you to find something that is
that's correct.
To your pleasure. So if you're listening on the radio and you hear somebody say fart and, it's not good for little ears, and I don't want my kids to learn the word fart because it's offensive.
I have a feeling this is personal.
Radio dial, man.
Right.
And for those people who don't have a radio dial, it's on your steering wheel. You push the little button and it'll scan and go to, Safe for Little Ears radio.
And that's even if you're listening to the actual radio these days.
That's
and you're
right.
Not,
so you can hear cheek to cheek on the soft, whatever hits. Right. That's the thing. That everybody is so quick to get either angry about something, offended about something, because they think that in their world, their car, their house, their whatever, their listening device, my God, how could I listen to this trash? And I'm going to do something about it.
Right. All right. Listen. When it comes to issues, right? I'll listen to a CNN or MSNBC.
Right.
I'll listen to a Fox News because I want to hear both sides.
Right.
Right. But I'm an intelligent person, and know that that's how you find it.
Correct.
Right. And then I can make up my own mind on what I believe.
That's right.
Right. But if I'm listening to some kind of entertainment, i.e. Joe Rogan, or listen, I'm a Rogan fan. But in that episode or a particular episode, if he's talking about shit I don't like, I turn him off.
Yeah.
I go find something else.
That's right. That doesn't mean he's a horrible person. That just means
I can always turn on our podcast.
The subject is not what you want to hear, and you turn it off. It's not appealing to you. Listen, I heard one of these comedians say, his name is Mark Norman. He's up-and-coming comedian. He's been around for a while, but he's getting famous.
Right.
He said, listen, if you don't want to hear what's going on, then that's your choice. But he says, when I listen to other people and they talk either being a bigot, racism, whatever it is that I still disagree with, homophobia, all that, he goes, I want to know who's saying it. That way I know who to not talk to.
Right.
That's how you find out stuff.
That's right.
Because if you don't talk to him and have a conversation, you'll never know that dude's a bigot.
That's right.
You'll never know that he molests kids or
right.
whatever.
Pederast, dude.
That's correct. So he goes, I want to know. He goes, I will find out in that conversation really quickly.
Right.
I will politely say, listen, nice talking to you. Have a nice day.
Right.
Then he goes, when I see that guy down the road, he goes, I don't need to talk to him again because I know what he's about.
That's right.
So he goes, the more information you gather from everybody, he goes, that's how you know the differences. That's how you know shit is still out there.
You find out who your friends are, who you want to interact with. I
mean, Tracy Lawrence and Raw. And,
listen,
I'm saying?
Man, good song. But what I'm saying about that is when you first meet somebody, you interact with them, right, and you talk with them, you bullshit, and all of a sudden he'll come out with my old lady. First of all, I hate that term, my old lady moment. I hate that. I have a name. Anyway,
the old ball and chain.
That's right.
That's right, Jimmy.
But listen, if you're talking to somebody and an N-word comes out of their mouth,
correct,
or an effing Jews comes out of their mouth, or whatever, you're like,
and we're talking the hard R on the N-word.
Right. I mean, you're sitting,
the rap song.
Right. So you're sitting there and you're going, okay, time for this conversation to wrap up, and I'm going to go home.
Right.
Because that's not something I want to be around. Right.
Right.
So, you kind of tend to learn that kind of stuff, but people. So I get his point.
Yep.
You know
to stay away from that. That's something you don't enjoy. But I'm not going to go be a Karen and go complain that my God, that guy just said a bad word.
That's right.
And I want something done about it because that just offended me.
First of all, who the fuck are you?
Correct,
Karen.
That's right. Is it unlawful? No, it's freedom of speech.
Right.
Now, if he's beating up whatever he said,
right,
and he's kicking his ass and doing all sorts of terrible things,
that's right,
that is unlawful.
That's right.
Yes, go be a Karen and call 911.
Yep.
But don't do it because he said a bad word, and that's just, he said in front of my kids, and now my kids are going to grow up so triggered. Please, for the love of God, people, for the last time. It's a horse, and it belongs on a gun. That's it. That's the only time I want to hear that. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So, what the comedians have started saying, the Tom Segura's, the Joe Rogans, famously said by one of our favorite comedians, kick that motherfucking mule, Lee.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yep.
Has basically said, if you play into it, it's gonna remain there. He says, it's a 24-hour news cycle. It'll be gone if you don't play into it. It'll be gone.
And it shouldn't be news in the first place.
It shouldn't be news. We have a lot more important shit.
I mean, this story about Joe Rogan is in the Washington Examiner, and when I boot up my Google News,
right,
that was the second story down.
Because
with a big old picture of his mug. First of all, not the best picture of him, right? He looks like he's about to be. Well, he's either UFC commentating because he's got an earpiece, so it's either that or he's at a comedy show.
Right.
But this is the second story.
That's right. That's right.
And then I just read a story about how in Ocala we're tearing down and kicking people out of their places of residence. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that a company that's probably owned, and I say probably because I haven't done the research yet, but the name of the company sounds like a church.
Correct.
Like it's owned by a church.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to build homeless community for homeless people.
That's right.
Why, because they're homeless, do they deserve a free place to live?
Not brand new like that. No.
Well, not even brand new.
No.
Period.
No.
There's a reason why they're homeless.
Right.
Fix that, you fix the problem.
Right. Correct. Now, I would tend to push them more towards the affordable housing that the people that are trying to pick themselves up by their bootstraps.
Boots don't have straps anymore, Jimmy.
That's right. Lace their Velcros. They're trying to get to a better place where the housing is in a better neighborhood. They have the means, they just don't have the money because it's so expensive. Take those people out of the stab and chase that we have here downtown.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's what I used to call it.
That's right. It's what, 15, 20 years old? 15 years old?
Yeah.
It's not that long.
No.
That is run down. Take those people out.
All three of those are.
Put them in the new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Take the homeless people, if you'd like, and put them in the rundown ones. And I'm not saying put them in the rundown ones because they're not human and they don't deserve blah, blah, blah. No. It's a cycle.
Get us canceled.
That's right. It's a cycle. They'll pull themselves up by their Velcro straps, and they'll make something to themselves, and then they'll move on, just like everybody else has. We've all lived in a trailer or in a shitty apartment with roommates that don't shut the fuck up, but you build you build up.
Hold on a second.
And you get the hell out of there.
Hold on a second. Did you just censor yourself by a...
That's right.
Okay.
Because I was going to say something really offensive. I don't want to trigger anybody. So,
So that's our dump button. It was a... Okay.
It's... Yes, there's a problem with homelessness.
I get what you're saying, but I don't listen, I'm more of a fan of there being more homeless shelters, and then in those homeless shelters, you can give those homeless people the tools they need if they want to lace up their Velcro and go to work.
That's correct.
But most of them do not.
No.
That I see.
Right.
That take my shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I mean, we've had bikes stolen. We've had gas tanks stolen, which
that's right.
You don't know anything that runs on gas. So, I mean,
if your ice maker goes off in the middle of the night, they might steal that too. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that thing's loud, isn't it? Anyway,
sure is. Sounds like somebody's falling into the,
Yeah, in the crevasses.
That's right.
We don't have crevasses in Florida. I know.
That's right.
I just, I don't.
Some of it's mental illness. Some of it is
drug abuse. And some of it is they
just
fell
plain
on
they
hard
don't
times.
want it. They don't care.
Right.
Now, some of them can make more fucking money living on the streets, panhandling.
Yep.
Look at the cases where guys were actually driving in with their BMWs,
especially when they steal expensive shit out of my vehicle.
That's right. Climbing into a garbage bag, going on the corner with a sign that says, "Hey, help!" Whatever, make it $400-500. Getting back into their regular clothes, into their BMW, and going home.
Yep.
That's how they make their money.
Yep, they have the panhandling license.
That's right.
And which I saw another story this morning that Florida is now number 2 in car thefts in
That's
the
right.
United States.
That's correct. That's right.
You know, hey,
They make
I've taken steps. I won't be.
a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen that show on. I think it's
My what was stolen out of my truck was a value of about $1,500.
that's right.
Not
It's
not
very
including
easy.
the $30 in cash I had in there.
Yeah,
You know.
it's very the guy on the show that I was watching says it's much easier and it's much more profitable now to steal weird older vehicles, not the Mercedes,
Right.
not the Benz, not the BMWs, none of the expensive cars. The shitty ones, like somebody
Right.
wants a Nissan Pathfinder from 1993. They steal that son of a bitch and they sell it. The guy that steals it makes all the money.
Mm-hmm.
The spotter makes some cash, and then they ship it. See you later. It's gone, or it's got a new VIN by the next day.
Yep.
They're making money hand over fist for old cars,
Yep.
old ass cars. You're like,
Well, because
What the hell?
they're making the profit because they don't
right.
they don't have any money into it.
Nope.
So
and older cars don't need certain key fobs.
right.
They don't need to rekey anything. They can rekey it right there. They don't have little chips in the key. They don't have
Nope.
any of
Nope.
that security
Nope.
systems.
Got
Very
the
easy.
got the old 2 key.
That's right. Get the old Slim Jim. Pop,
Yeah.
pop the lock, and see you later.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's down the road they go. There's no fancy computers, no whatever.
Listen, we're on a fun tangent, but the homelessness thing is going to be, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take mental health facilities. It's going to
Drug
take
treatment.
clean needle tents like they've been doing in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
Michigan, Oregon. I mean,
I say
all
you
these
just,
places.
you just throw them in a rubber room for 30 days. They don't need no needles.
well, I mean, thank God.
I mean, if that's part of the problem, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Look, you look at the person and go, "Do you want to turn your life around, or you want to be stuck on drugs?"
That
I
is
want
true.
to turn my life around.
That's
Get in
right.
this room.
That's right. Also have a nice shot of Narcan.
Here's a vest that makes you look like a turtle. Turtle.
But what if you put a guy in a straitjacket in said padded room, but he's an old magician? And he
Why
knows
is
how
it
to
called
get
a
out?
straitjacket when it's really curved?
It's really not straight.
Right.
Well, it's straight if you unwrap it, but then once you strap it, it's not straight anymore. It's kind of a hugging jacket. They should call it a hugging jacket because you're hugging yourself. Now hug yourself.
Get in the huggies.
Not me. Hug yourself.
I mean, look, dude. We're not at all
No.
professionals, and we don't know
No.
what the fuck we're talking about.
Absolutely
But
not. Written.
I don't think giving a person a free place to live is going to change it. All it's
No.
going to do is turn that place into what's affectionately referred to as a ghetto, where
right.
there's just drugs rampant, and
That's
then,
right.
well, you can't stay here if you're on drugs. Right.
Right.
Right. How are you going to know?
Right. Now, if they want to go through a process to where they'll drug test you, you're willing to work, just like everybody else that's on, I don't know, some type of assistance where you have to log in 5 applications a week.
Yeah, but dude,
to get your
you know
assistance
that
to keep
game.
going?
But you know that game.
I know,
though.
but at least it's going to weed out some of them.
I mean, when you were
Maybe.
dispatcher worldwide, you knew that they would come and apply and not take the job just because they applied.
Look here, man. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
You know, which, listen, I don't know if you want to mention this or not, but we have a man with a promotion on his shoulders right now.
Oh, a POV.
Yeah, that's right. Congratulations to you, sir.
Oh,
I
thank
mean, you look taller.
I mean, I am on the radio. Some would call it a promotion. Some would say I don't know what the price is yet. So,
Well, the price is right.
I mean, if it's good for Bob Barker,
That's
it's
right.
good for me.
That's right.
That's right.
You know, it's what we strive for, though.
I mean, what we do is kind of like a game of Plinko. You don't know where we're going to land, but a new car. That's right.
Listen,
I mean, I'm going to take it with a
for
a grain of
whatever
rock
it's
salt,
worth,
maybe Hawaiian salt.
and a yeah,
I know
for
a
whatever
guy.
it's worth, and a rock salt and a shack of bacon. You know,
As long as it's not turkey and beef sausage.
Oh, God. You know, congratulations.
Thank you. I
You know,
appreciate that.
You do look taller. Time for a haircut. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do.
I mean,
you're telling me what to do, but that's what
I heard you say I didn't know they could stack shit that high.
I mean, I know how round it can go. I just don't know how tall.
Holy, she's 5'3".
That's right.
Yeah. So there's that.
But things,
shotgun type of deal.
yeah, things are looking up and up. Well, in some cases, I mean, anyway, Joe Rogan's gonna do his thing. He ain't gonna stop.
No.
None of the comedians that we mentioned here are going to stop. They're going to do
guess what? Guess what? He has enough money to stop.
Oh yeah.
And just say, fuck y'all. I'm just going to go hunting.
Well, he has an obligation to Spotify now.
Right.
But he can do
once he fulfills that
whatever he wants with that.
Obviously, because they've tried multiple times to get him knocked off of Spotify.
Right.
And what happened?
Mr. Neil Young.
He just got more popular and more popular and
That's
more
right.
subscribers to Spotify.
Right.
Guess what?
Listen, I mean, what I'm saying is he can literally just have all of his comedian friends on and they tell jokes and back scenes and back stories and actors and whatever and not do any serious shit and just whatever that contract says, he can ride it out to the sunset. And then he's got his acting. He's got his, which he said he doesn't really like acting, but he was on, what was it? News
Radio
back in the day. And Fear Factor and all that stuff, and he'll do his commentating with the UFC, and he'll do all that stuff.
Specials, all that
and he'll
stuff.
do his specials, and he'll just ride the rest of his life out and make plenty of money. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Nothing.
No. Just sit back, enjoy it for what it is. It's entertainment. Get what you need out of it. Leave the rest. That's all you got to do.
Listen, one of the most horrible shows on television. Well, allegedly,
Wife saw it.
The View.
Yeah.
Okay. They can say whatever they want to say. Nobody cancels them.
Well, they almost canceled Whoopi.
But, Whoopi is her own story. But here's my point. I don't have to watch The View if I don't want to.
That's right.
And you don't have to listen to Joe Rogan.
No, you don't.
And it doesn't matter whether he has 10 subscribers or over the 100 million that he has now.
That's right.
They still have to pay him.
That's right.
So, fuck you.
That's correct. Have a nice day. Go fuck yourself.
That's the biggest POB of the day right there.
That's right.
I can't reach my back. Shoulders are too big.
It's just, listen, can we just listen? Whatever you want to listen to it.
Enjoy it.
Mind your own business.
Right.
Enjoy it. If it's screamo music, I don't know. It's not my thing. I don't like it. I don't understand the words. I think it's silly, but whatever. Listen to it. I don't care.
He's talking about real musicians, Jimmy.
That's right. Things that has soul. Not
like
trying
Hall
to
&
suck
Oates?
it out of you. Yes, that's right. Hall & Oates. National treasure.
That's okay.
I mean,
all right.
Hey, listen. He's a blue-eyed soul is what they call him.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
it's
Oats.
makes me think
Oats is like
makes me think
not so
of breakfast cereal, but good band. I mean, I enjoy.
With a stash like Oats, you can't go wrong.
Well, it's good for your diabetes. I'm Wilford Brimley. Eat your oatmeal for your diabetes.
That's right.
What about the cholesterol? Don't worry about that. That's another thing that drives me crazy is this whole health thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like watching, we had a discussion off podcast.
That's right.
About something that I wanted to talk about and get off my chest because I didn't want to say it on here and I didn't want it to involve the entire podcast.
Right. So you said what you needed to say.
That's right. But something I didn't say in that conversation with you is that it's clicked something for me internally, meaning I need to take better care of myself.
Right.
I need to eat better. I need to be in better shape, and I need to do. I'm trying to think how to say this without offending people. I need to do things for myself that make myself more enlightened about things that I'm interested in.
That's right.
Okay, we'll say it that way.
That's right.
So, we went shopping this week. We, listen, I'm a fan of buy the outside of the shopping experience. What the fuck is it called? A store. It's called a store, right?
Well, sometimes.
Supermarket. Buying everything on the outside, nothing on the inside. I mean, dude, my mom never cooked anything out of a box.
Right.
Ever. The only thing that ever came out of a box was the spaghetti noodles.
Right.
And not like she couldn't make them herself. Just who the fuck's got time?
That's
right. So, my grandmother taught her how to make them, and my mom made the sauce from scratch. I mean, if it was spaghetti, if it was fettuccine, if it was mac and cheese, if anything was made from scratch.
That's right.
Real fucking ingredients. Okay, so we made it a point to buy more of that.
Right.
This time, it's up to me to make myself lunch, make myself dinner, go to work, this and that kind of thing. Right. So that's on par. I need to get out and start using this equipment I have outside, the weights and the treadmills and all that stuff, because I need to be in better shape.
Also, be mindful of the heat stroke. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever. That's part of the deal.
Well,
That's,
I mean,
see, I'm
listen,
a Floridian. I'm good.
Listen,
I wasn't,
unless you have something on
born
your
in the
camera
glacier.
that will dial 911 for you if it sees you passing the fuck out.
Well, my
I don't
watch
know
will do
about
that. My watch will do that. You know,
I'm sorry?
Yeah, my watch will call 911.
It's become aware.
Well, it has a threshold, you know, and if I don't meet that threshold, like my heart stops beating, it will call the cops. It will call 911. Yes, sir.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord.
Hey, man, this guy's dead. What?
Right?
And yeah.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
No. In full disclosure, it knows when it's not on my wrist, also, so it's not gonna.
Well, yeah.
You know, but yeah. If I passed out or like, dude, this thing has EKG. This thing can tell me my body fat percentage. It can do all of that. I mean, that's why you pay the big bucks for it.
I'm looking at you right now with wide eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and there's sensors all in this bitch. I mean, it knows.
Would you say
that
it's very sensitive?
It knows that I need to buy dog food before I know I need to buy dog food.
My God, man. All right.
I'm just kidding. But
That when you open it up, does it go dun 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 dun
no,
dun dun dun?
no.
All
It's more of a like a rainbows and roses kind of thing.
Although
Anyway.
anyway, it said reading rainbow. Remember that song? It's
Right.
great.
But my point to that is that I need to make more time for myself.
Correct.
To do some things for myself.
Right.
Right. And that was the point of that. So, I mean, a lot of changes coming to the diet in this household and that kind of thing. Right. Like, listen, man, I love pasta and I love everything that every other red mare, pizza, all that shit,
That's right.
burgers, what that. But there's a time you can eat that
Mhm.
kind of diet with impunity,
Yeah.
and it's not at our age.
No, it's in moderation.
Once a
Yeah.
week you want to have some pizza. Once a week you want to have some pasta. Once a week you want to, nail down some burgers on the barbecue with some beers and whatnot with your friends. Okay, but you can't.
Yeah.
Listen, steak and whiskey diet ain't.
It's appealing.
Well, I mean, listen. There are people who do diet like the fad diets, like the carnivore diets and the keto diets and all that. You don't need all that shit,
Right.
right? You just need to know what you're eating. You need to know that it's whole foods, right? It's real foods, and how much of it you're eating. That's all you need to know.
What if you eat Pop-Tarts, smoke cigarettes, but you drink alkaline water? Does that help?
Are we talking about a specific person? Because I know that's not you.
I'm just saying. Does it balance?
I want to know.
I'm just using it as an example.
I mean, do you know a guy?
No.
Oh, I mean, it sounds like somebody we would know.
I mean, I know a guy that simply has been living on frozen burritos for quite a while.
Oh, listen, yeah.
You know?
I wonder if he eats better now
Condiments
that
back.
he's solo. Probably not.
All the
Because
farts.
it was always about money.
all the friends.
Well, these burritos are $1 a piece, and I can buy 17 of them and eat all
Right,
week.
but they're made from something you don't even know if it's meat. It's beyond meat.
it's meatish. Yeah. Well, this one has no
I
meat
don't
in it.
want
It's
to
all
go to a
refried
taco
beans.
truck. And the guy goes, "Listen, would you like to have some meat-ish
Right.
tacos?" No,
Right.
I'm good.
And but
Just
through,
get your mind right.
through the research that I've done.
That's right.
Okay.
Open
and-
your chakra.
chakra. Get the fuck out of here. Listen,
That's
for
an
the
oldie
research
but
I've
goodie.
done, the cleaner the food is when it goes in you.
Right.
The cleaner you cook it, the
Less
less
processed
you
foods,
Right.
less- yeah.
Right. The healthier you're going to be.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going for.
Right.
And then the rest I can take care of out there on that equipment,
That's
like
right.
I have most of my life.
Like the holster says, pray, eat your vitamins,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
go to school.
That's right.
Stay in school.
That's right, dude. I fell down that rabbit hole. I mean, we can talk about that. I'm not too ashamed, dude.
No, I'm not either.
I
used to
grew
watch
up.
the shit out
I
of it in
grew
the
up
90s.
watching WCW wrestling.
That's right.
That's what on the TB. Oh God, he was my
You're like,
favorite when I was a kid. I mean,
just the hair on the back of your neck would start standing up.
any of you that have Peacock,
Yeah.
right? Peacock now has WCW wrestling on there.
Nice.
All of the pay-per-views,
Mhm.
all of the nitros, all the Saturday nights, all that,
Nice.
right?
Nice.
And so I fell down the rabbit hole of nitro
That's
the
right.
other day when I found it because I had nothing else to do, And I said to myself, "Son of a bitch." So then I look up. I said, "Well, when does Goldberg hit?" Right? I'll tell you, September of 1997.
That makes me feel old.
That was his debut, September, I think 22nd, whatever. And so I'm watching this, and I'm going, God, I used to be so into this as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like the product's still good.
Yeah. We would not miss a Monday Night Raw.
No. Monday Nitro? No. Never, 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 never.
We would work for Schwann's Foods.
Yeah.
That's right. And get home and, bring whatever we were taking out of the freezer and sit down and just watch WCW Monday Night Raw.
It was Nitro.
Well,
Not
Nitro.
Raw was
Yeah,
WWE.
Sorry, I'm confusing
Yeah.
that's right.
But I sat down there and I went 1997. I was so into this. I never missed. I didn't miss. I mean, the only one I think I missed was Saturday morning.
yeah,
But that's because I was still sleeping.
right.
And I was probably doing baseball or whatever.
Correct.
But I was sitting there watching this and going, God damn. Like, look how young all these people look. And then I'm like, oh, that guy's dead.
Mhm.
Oh, that guy.
That's right.
That guy shot his wife and shot himself in the face.
That's right.
I mean, who knew? I mean, I
That's
could see
right.
it in his eyes. I
That's
don't
right.
know how you could.
One guy through DDP yoga. Came
That's right.
back.
That's right.
That's right. Mr.
Mhm.
Jake the Snake Roberts.
That's right.
Through all of that.
Which he's in the WCW, DDP. He was in the WCW, so I'm watching him traipse around the ring.
Self high
going,
five.
I'm telling you,
I mean,
But I fell down that, and they were, nostalgia was. I used to watch it with my dad.
Yeah.
My mom thought it was ludicrous, so she would just go do her nails or something.
That's correct.
But me and my dad would watch it, or we'd go in the back room and we'd watch it, and kind of hang out as dad's son. So it was kind of, but yeah, dude. I mean, Goldberg was mine
too. Yeah.
he was my favorite.
Yeah.
be-
Whenever you'd hear that his entrance music and he'd come through, or he'd start running and just.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's the thing though. They have it in seasons, so it's season
Right.
1 through like 9. And season 3 is when he debuts, and I'm still in season 3.
Mhm.
And I'm maybe 4 months from when I started watching, and he's already at 89-0, 90-0.
he was undefeated for the longest.
Right. Well, yeah, I think he got to 120 something. But here's my thing. He only appeared on Nitros.
Mhm.
So there's only one a week for 4 months. I mean, I'm not a mathematician.
Well, they had non-televised shows too.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had they call them house shows, and then
Right.
so that
Like Howdy Doody?
sometimes. Yeah.
Three's Company too?
Yeehaw. Okay.
Mr. Rogers?
Look at it's Mr. Furley. All right, Jimmy, we get it. Going down to the what do they call it? The Boom Boom Room? No, the
Yeah.
What was that nightclub that they?
Yeah, in the Boom Boom Room. Yeah.
No, that's from Life. I'm gonna call it the Boom Boom Room.
Yeah. What's going on in the Boom Boom Room? Ain't no Boom Boom Room. Shut up, man. Let him tell the story. Got my toe stuck in a bottle.
Good movie.
That's right.
Yeah, it's man, all those shows were great.
I mean, I knew.
I mean, the introduction of what was it?
Listen, if you were a fan, okay, or even if you were barely a fan,
I mean, they brought back Sting from
well, not brought back Sting. He was still in it. Like
no,
when I'm
he
watching,
wasn't Nitro though. He wasn't
No.
WCW. He
No.
was old school.
right. Well, he was WCW, but he was the original WCW.
Right.
So when the NWO thing started
Right.
coming in,
Yeah.
he kind of went up in the rafters and would,
Scott Hall,
Right.
all I mean,
But here's the deal:
the Wolfpack.
if you were a fan of either WCW during that time
Yeah.
or the WWE, because of WCW
Yeah.
came the WWE or WWF, whichever generation you grew up in, came their Attitude Era.
Right.
That was their response to WCW starting to kick their ass.
Mhm. That's where
Right.
you got the Generation X.
But what I understood by watching WCW is dude, Nitro was a 3-hour show.
that's right.
Started out 2 hours,
Mhm.
then went to 3. Every single wrestler in their roster
Mhm.
wrestled every Monday night,
Yep.
no matter what.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I mean, when you consider there were just, I think, 7 or 9 in each faction, quote unquote, of the NWO, and then there were WCW stock wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, everybody wrestled. Nobody had a night off.
But it wasn't a lot of that traditional wrestling where it was a lot of
They had a lot of lucha libre dudes.
yeah, but they had a lot of storylines, and the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
storylines were fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Better than what Vince was coming up with
Correct.
at the time.
Yeah.
Which is why the Attitude Era came
that's
about.
right. Now Vince had his. Thank God.
Do you know Stone Cold was originally in WCW?
Yes.
Yeah, and he wasn't, fancying the character.
No.
No.
Thank God that Vince McMahon had Mankind.
Big Foley.
Yep. I mean, if he wouldn't have had those guys
Cactus
that made
Jack.
it entertaining like that and took bumps like nobody's freaking business
That's
and
right.
actually bled,
That's right.
it wouldn't have been. Because some of the storylines now, have you watched it?
No.
It's silly.
Is
It's
it?
silly. It's
Is
like
it?
watching Days of Our Lives, but
Huh.
with muscles. That's it.
See,
The other
when
day,
we,
it
when
was-
we grew up watching wrestling,
It
dudes,
was this fucking thing where they were doing like the OK sign, but
Yeah.
with the rock and what have you.
Yeah.
And they all come out, and this one chick and two guys, and they all put it up in the ring, and they all like kind of touched each other, and the fucking crowd went wild. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
well, that
It's
dude,
not like when Sting came down and flipped open the jacket and it said
NWO.
NWO, and you were
Right.
like, holy fuck! And he's
Yeah.
got the black bat
Right.
with the fucking face,
which I
painting
just
and-
watched that episode. Originally, it was the black
holy
and white,
shit.
and then he ripped it
Yeah.
off and kicked Hulk Hogan's ass,
That's
and it
right.
was red and
That's
black. Right.
Yeah, it was actually something entertaining.
Right.
Not this. Hey, look, we're gonna spread some, some
Which
nice lube oil on you.
when WCW started to decline,
Yeah.
I did watch the Attitude Era of WWF.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But once The Rock started going away, and once Austin got hurt, and when it wasn't the same, and it was all these dudes, you're like, listen, you're going to go from a dude that's going to drink beer and kick your ass no matter what,
Right.
like drive a truck through your fucking house, kind
That's
of
right.
dude.
Drive a was it the milk truck or
To-
an ice cream truck?
To you can't see me. What
Yeah.
the fuck is
Yeah.
that?
I don't know. But that's the positivity side where he was trying to be positive.
Listen, listen.
You know.
Listen, I understand making it a more family-friendly product.
right.
I understand making it so that everybody has someone to watch. I understand the
It's
business.
uplifting for kids.
But here's the deal.
Something to look up
Here's
to.
the deal. For older dudes, you're not going to keep them entertained like that. So about when I was about, I don't know, 25, 30 years old, somewhere in there, I quit watching it.
Yeah.
I had better things to do in my life.
Right. Yeah. Now you still appreciate the
I can look back at the old shit
Well,
and appreciate the fuck out of it.
the when they actually came out and did something with the mic in the stage.
Right.
You knew some of these guys are just fucking silly,
I'm going to tell you.
but you knew when The Rock was coming out
Yep.
that whatever he's gonna say is gonna be.
It was Austin.
Yeah.
It was The Rock.
Yeah.
And in WCW, it was Ric Flair.
Ric
It
Flair,
was
that's
well, Sting didn't really talk.
no.
But like
Hogan
Goldberg,
did a little bit, but it
Goldberg
was
didn't
kinda
talk.
silly.
But when Goldberg said, "Who's next?" he fucking meant it, and you
Yeah.
could tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Everybody has said that Bill Goldberg, his actual name,
Mhm.
which is not far-fetched,
that's right.
was ruthless.
Yeah,
Like they took bumps. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
hurt.
yeah.
Like the
But that
the
was
spear
his. But that
hurt.
was his
the
persona.
jackhammer hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, because if you watch him,
Yeah.
when he jackhammers somebody, he doesn't drop them flat on their back.
Nope.
He drops them on the side.
That's right.
You're supposed to land flat on your back.
You're supposed to land flat on your back with your feet down.
Right.
So you take the brunt on your feet and on the
Right. It's dispersed.
right,
The
not the
impact's
lower
dispersed.
back.
Right.
It's
Upper
supposed
back.
to be the upper back.
Right.
And some of these bastards were coming in sideways.
Yeah, yeah. But that was his persona.
Yeah.
That
Be
was
mean
what
and-
he was there to do.
Yeah.
Was create destruction
Yeah.
and destroy.
Yeah.
That was his persona.
That's right.
And you couldn't hurt him.
No.
I mean, dude, I watched one of his matches last night. This dude gets in. Match lasted 32 seconds.
That's another thing I was gonna say.
He got in there, and this dude's thing was he was a luchador, right? But he carried a, first of all, big mismatch because Goldberg's 6 whatever, almost 300 pounds of muscle, and this dude's a little whatever. But anyway,
Wasn't it Rey Mysterio. Somebody
no, it
else?
wasn't Rey Mysterio. I forget his name, Paco or something like that. Anyway, so, but his shtick is he used a chair in a match one time, so he started carrying the chair out with him. He gets in the ring and he's got the chair and he's threatening Goldberg with it, and Goldberg's like, "Come on, hit me with it."
Mhm.
Dude clocks him over the head, breaks the chair over his head.
That's right.
A plastic chair.
That's right.
No, it's a foldy plastic chair.
Right.
Right? Breaks it over his fucking head. He shakes it off, spears him, jackhammers him, match over.
That's
30 seconds.
That's right.
Blood dripping off of his head, didn't give a shit.
The amount of fake smoke on his way in that he inhaled and threw out of his
Was
nose.
it fake though?
I mean,
mean,
he
a
was
lot
the
of-
original vapor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I mean, he
saying?
used to walk through them pyrotechnics and just stand in them.
Just
And as a
stand there
kid, I'm
and
like,
inhale the pyrotechnics and breathe it out. You're
Yep.
like, that's not good.
and
for
as a
lungs,
kid,
bro.
I'm like, that's gotta hurt because I mean, I've seen welding, and it hurts.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of...
And he's coming down like
I mean, Metallica?
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
Michael Jackson.
But he had no
when he
hair,
caught on
so I
fire.
guess that
Oh,
works. You know.
At that point, he wasn't a smooth criminal.
That's
But
right. That's right.
I digress.
Now you know why his chest hair was so short. Goldberg. I mean,
Goldberg.
that's right, dude. I'm telling you, we grew up in great times.
We did.
As young men and kids because there was shit like that to watch.
That's right.
Now they have to be the kindler, gentler, what have you.
Yeah. Still miss the golden.
I'm
Girls
not. I'm
all
not
the time.
giving guys like John Cena and all the
Miss
dudes that are in it now, like they're not as good. I'm just saying that the way they're packaged
Right.
is not something that I would like to ingest. That dude is probably. I've actually heard from guys like Kevin Nash and all that. Strongest dude they've ever met, John Cena.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pound for pound, strength-wise, effortlessly picking
lift you
up
and
500
you-
pounds.
Yeah, and you felt like you were on a stack
Right.
of bricks.
I
Yeah.
just can't. Now I've seen the dude in movies.
He's a great person.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
dude, good actor.
Yeah.
You
I just
know,
don't
I mean,
like him as a wrestler.
as good as, but I just don't want to watch him as a wrestler.
You know who turned me was I mean giggity.
I'm recording this.
Please. At first, I didn't really like Jericho.
I
And
didn't
then
either.
later on, I liked him.
I had a problem with him when he was doing that in the ring interview shit. Like he would come out to the ring and it was Jericho's whatever, and it was like
Yeah.
a talk
But
show.
That was a stick.
Get the fuck out of here!
I know. But he's now the producer of Dark Side of the Ring, which is a good show to watch.
Is it?
Yeah, it teaches you of all the old wrestlers, what
Well,
they've done for
I
the
like to listen
sport.
to Stone Cold's podcast because
And he's Canadian. You know what I'm
because
saying?
because he brings on a lot of old wrestlers and has conversations with them and
I mean, the ones that are alive.
that's right.
You know.
That's right.
But he shows how what happened to like the Fabulous Moolah,
You want
all the old people.
you want your fucking eyes to spin?
I mean, I don't know about that.
Look up the podcast that Stone Cold Steve Austin does with Roddy Piper.
Ooh, R.I.P.
Yeah. I mean, that dude had a hard life growing
yeah.
up, first of all. But second of all, couldn't maintain a thought more than 4 seconds.
That's right.
That podcast is all over the place. And Stone Cold does his best
Man.
to kind of keep him on track and reel him in. But
But at least he was with a dude that could take care of him on that end, knowing that
Yeah.
he's had
Yeah.
how many concussions,
Yeah.
CTE, you name it. He's probably.
but that's how he built
had it.
his career.
Right.
Was he
And
was
he
the
did
dude.
it in a kill.
Yep. Yep.
Also, he was friends with Captain Lou Albano, but that's that's neither here or there. You know.
Yeah.
I got elastic waistbands in my never. you know.
Well, sir.
Listen, it's been great. It's been fun.
That's right.
You know.
Another Monday on a Tuesday.
That should be an outro music. I forget what it was, but it was menacing.
Listen. The Goldberg theme
Uh-huh.
was the shit.
It was the shit.
I mean, hold on. I got it right here.
Do, do, do,
Well, I mean, I don't
do,
have it
do,
right
do,
here, but I can
do.
have it right here.
Lady in red, cheek to cheek. You know, when music had a soul.
That's right.
You know, never gonna give you up. No, maybe not that one.
That's right. Is this it? No.
Do we have it? Do we have it?
No, that's 3-6 Mafia.
What?
No.
No. I mean, 6ix9ine Mafia. You know what I'm
When
saying?
you click on Goldberg theme song, that's what comes up, and that's not right.
No.
No.
Is
this it?
Maybe say WCW. That's right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and the fucking and everything would go dark.
Dark and then light.
And the fucking fireworks would start going off,
Yeah.
and he'd walk out, and right about
That's
here,
right.
he's standing in the
and the pyrotechnics.
and he's fucking, and he disappears in the pyrotechnics,
and then he would spit it out with his head up,
yep,
shake his head like a fucking bulldog,
smack
and
himself the rest of the way
smack
to the
and
ring.
smell, and then just either walk down angrily or run,
Yep.
and dive into the ring, and then just say what?
Remember when everybody was getting that tattoo?
Yeah.
Which is the tattoo that was on his arm?
I'm going to take this from Burt Kreischer. Truth time.
Sure.
I have a Beanie Baby that has that tattoo on it.
You have a Beanie Baby.
It says Goldberg on the front.
Does it really?
It does.
Hmm.
I'll take a picture and I'll
Baby.
post it with
Hey,
the,
I had the Goldberg T-shirts and shit. So,
right, but I have a Beanie Baby. So
and on that note, it's time to
that's
end.
right. Allegedly.
No, there will be pictures.
I'll promise I'll post it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
All right, folks. We're going to get out of here for this Monday on a
It's in a
Tuesday
plastic
podcast.
case.
That's right. Once again, scheduling issues.
Something to be worth something.
That's right. Hey, listen. Man's moving up in the world. You got to give him his.
That's
gotta
right.
Give him his leeway.
That's right. That's correct.
So once again, we apologize for a day late, but we will get back on track
That's correct.
sooner than later.
That's right.
All right. So have a good Tuesday.
That's right. On a Tuesday.
That's right. Yeah, we out of here.
That's right.
We gonna go eat some shit, and edit podcasts, and do that kind of shit.
Can't beat the shit. You gotta beat the shit.
That's right. Can't beat the man.
That's right.
You gotta beat a man. You gotta beat the man, right?
See ya.
See ya.